What up, man? It's your big brother K-Rino, and I guess I hit y'all with a little sneak attack, a surprise uh, live stream today. But I had this on my mind. So I decided I wanted to talk about it real quick because I know that this is a subject that a lot of people, man, suffer from subliminally. You know, some people don't even realize that this is their problem, but it is a big problem. And I'm explaining some of the reasons why it's a big problem. And I don't plan to be long, but I do want to touch on what I want to touch on, and at the same time get y'all's opinion on it as well, because you may know people that have a problem being themselves, and you may be one of those people who struggle with that to find your identity. So as you come in, be sure to hit that like button for your big brother. Y'all should know the drill by now. Hit that like button. I see a lot of familiar faces coming in. Miles is here. Is that Paez? Aaron Shannon, Steve Rio, DC Static. Say there's a lot of familiar faces. So hit the like button as y'all come into the room, and we'll get it going. Because when I first announced that I was going to do this topic, I put it as the art of being yourself. But then I thought about it. I was like, well, no, it's not something that you can say is actually an art. You know, you can cultivate your identity. You can work on it and work to master it and get it better, but it's not an art. So I changed it on the official video, as you see now, to the value of being yourself. Because when you're not really being who you were meant to be and born to be, then you are taking away value from yourself. Because the only way that we can max out as living beings and creatures on this planet in our time here, the only way that we can max out or get as close to maxing out, and when I say max out, I mean reaching full potential. The only way we can reach full potential, we have to first understand who we are. We have to understand what our purpose is, what our mission in life is, well, what our gifts are, why we are here. And once we do that, then you have all the tools in front of you. Okay, I got everything I need. I know exactly who I am and what I want to do and why I'm here. Now you have those tools in front of you. You can start pushing forward to max out and reach your full potential. So there's value lost if you are not equipped with those tools. So the first thing you got to ask yourself, to go, okay, you know what? You're saying the value of being yourself. The first thing you got to do is know who you are. And if you don't know who you are, you got to be able to find yourself. You got to find out who you are. If you were walking down the street and you saw a wallet on the ground, and you're not the type of person that's going to try to steal the wallet or keep the contents in the wallet, when you pick up the wallet, you're going to say, man, somebody dropped their wallet. And then you're going to pick the wallet up, and the first question that's going to come to your mind is, I wonder who this wallet belongs to. That's the first thing that's going to naturally cross your mind, whether you're a thief or not. Even a thief going to wonder who it belongs to. He's still going to keep it, but he's going to wonder who it belongs to. So the next thing you do what? You open the wallet. You open it up, and you check to see if there's any identification inside the wallet that may tell you who this wallet belongs to. So you're looking there, you see that person's ID. Oh, this is John Johnson. Oh, he lives at 4202 Wolf Street, whatever. So now you start going through the process of locating this person. And, hey, man, I got your wallet, man. I found it. You must have dropped it. We can meet up. I can mail it to you, whatever you want to do. You've identified who is who. Now, if there's no identification in the wallet and it's just there, then it makes it a little tougher, but it might be $500 in the wallet. So you still want to be a good citizen, a good Samaritan, good person, and say, man, I got to find it. But it makes it much more difficult if there's no identifying factors inside this wallet that will lead you to who it really belongs to. That's us. If we don't have the identifying factors, if we're not knowledgeable of those identifying factors of even who we are, then it makes it that much difficult to reach our full potential. So you got to find out who you are. And it's layered because finding out who you are, your history, your heritage, your lineage and all that. That's why a lot of people go on these sites now. A lot of people go to ancestry.com and different sites to try to trace their roots and trace their identity, because it's something that's naturally in us. If we don't have that information that you want to know. Some of y'all on here may have grown up without a father, may have never knew your father. And even if you have a anger and animosity towards the man who helped bring you into existence, being that biological father, you may still be mad at him and hate him because he ran off and never was in your life and all that. But if you didn't know him, it's still something in you that's just curious to know who he is. Because by not knowing who he is, you have a disconnection from an entire side of your family. So people find out later who their father was. You be grown man, grown woman, you finally find, man, I found my real dad. And then you forgive him and you talk to him and say, man, I didn't know I had 3 or 4 brothers and sisters. I didn't know that my grandmother on my dad's side was this or that, or she did this. You start to find out your history because you fulfilled a need that was an imbalance in your life all these years because you didn't know that side of your family. That's just something that's naturally in us. But some of us don't even know who we are. Even if we're connected to our biological roots, we can only go up to a certain point. Particularly as Black people, because, we over here disconnected from our original land, disconnected from our original roots. So we don't even know what our original names are. We don't even know what our original nations of origin are. We don't have that information, so that's a disconnect. Other cultures can come over here and say, well, I'm Irish American. Well, I'm Chinese American. My grandmother came over here. They can give the backstory. We can't always give that backstory. But to bring it up, just to really just condense it down to us as individuals in this present day, a lot of our lack of understanding of who we are and what we can accomplish is the fact that we've never even taken into consideration, some of us, that we have gifts that were given to us by the Creator. We have abilities and things that we're able to do that other people can't do. Everybody in this chat is something that you can do that the people around you can't do, and they're amazed that you can do it. It's like, man, nobody ever taught this boy how to work on mechanical equipment, but somehow he just naturally knows how to do it. And I've told this story before where I grew up with this guy, and we was 9, 10 years old, and I'm right hand to the man. We were 9, 10 years old, and he knew how to go into electronics and fix things, and he could take a piece of equipment out of another electronic and put it in something else and make something else and make it move like a car. I mean, this dude was amazing at like 9 or 10 years old. And I would be amazed at it back then, but now to my understanding allows me to know that this young brother had a gift. Just nobody taught him this. You ain't went to no school at 8, 9 years old to know how to deal with electronics and mechanisms and all that. That was his gift. Now, I don't know whatever happened to him. I don't know if he ended up exploring that further as he got older, but that was his gift. I went to school with another young brother. We was in the second and third grade, and this guy could draw like superheroes and Batman and Spider-Man just off the dome. He's not even looking at a model, and he's not tracing. He could, man, hey man, draw Batman, and he could start drawing Batman just off of memory, and it's looking just like Batman. And we 8 years old, 9 years old. So this is an example of how we take for granted the fact that God gives us our gifts. Those gifts are deposited in us out the gate. Some people just find them faster than others, and some people never find them because they don't look for them. See, you don't have to be, well, we got to wait till he's 17 before we start putting his gifts to work. Nah. So if you haven't figured out who you are yet, as far as your gifts and your purpose and your talents and all that, then it's hard for you to move forward in your purpose. It's hard because you're just wandering around. You don't know what to do. That's why a lot of our children going through high school, make it all the way up to college, and they still are confused about what it is they want to be. Well, I switched my major because, man, I thought about being it. Or they settle for certain majors and certain, because they just don't know. Or they may be pushed into certain things because maybe the parents said, well, I want you to do this, I want you to do that. And that's not really their passion. It's not really something that they want to do. But finding yourself and the value of being yourself, it goes beyond that. All the stuff I said too, because even outside of just utilizing your gifts and your talents, even outside of just necessarily knowing your roots and where you come from down your bloodline, in the present day and time, you still have to just have an understanding and a level of comfort with just how you feel as a person. Some people will fake it to make it. And life consists of, the world consists of so many people who adopt that mindset that, man, I'll just fake it to make it. And you don't always make it when you fake it. You can get in certain doors, you can fool certain people for a period of time, but at some point, the reality comes to fruition. It's like, that's not really who you are. And you're not even comfortable with it unless you just that kind of person, like, man, whatever I got to do. You got some people who are just so low, they'll stoop to anything just to advance. But most people who have a conscience, most people who have some kind of moral compass in them will say, I don't really feel right about it. This don't sit right with me, that I'm acting like I'm this in order to, I've told this woman that I'm this and I got this and I got that, and I know I'm not. I've lied to these people and said this. You're not being yourself. And you're doing it to try to impress somebody else. Sometimes it ain't even about advancement. It's just I just want to impress this person. I want to make myself look like I'm this or I'm that. You shouldn't be comfortable with that. The work that you put in to be somebody that you're not, you should use that same energy to figure out who you actually are. And if it's something that you don't agree with, say you don't agree with it. If it's something that you like, say you like. If it's something that you dislike, say you dislike it. And if it's a truth that you stand on and that you believe in, that you have assessed and incorporated into your life as being, this is what I ride with, then you ride with that. Don't be a chameleon. I'm gonna change my colors based on who I'm around. I'm gonna be this over here. Then when I get over here, I'm gonna be this. Then when I go back home, I'm gonna be this. It's too much work, too much headache. Doesn't make sense for a person to go through all of that when all you have to simply do is project what you feel and what you think, regardless of what people agree with or not. The uniqueness of being exactly who you are is something that you should take pride in. The uniqueness of self, meaning what? Meaning that we always hear the saying, hey man, it's only one you. Just like a snowflake. No two snowflakes are alike. That's true. No one has as exact fingerprints as you. That's true. No one has the same DNA as you. Your DNA pattern is totally different from anybody else who's walked the planet, and billions and plillions of people have lived on the earth. That's a fact. That's true. So this is something alone. This is something just in and of itself that we should take pride in and look at and go, you know what, man, I am special. I am, like Jesse Jackson say, I am somebody. See? These are things that you should take pride in, because you should look at the fact that, man, I am formed and shaped by a creator who thought enough of me to make me unlike anybody else who ever came before me and anybody else who will come after me. See, there's an infinite eternity that will exist after me. So that means however many people lived before me, there will be way more people that live after me, because there's an eternity ahead. See? So at the end of the day, you have to look at that and say, man, I am special. I'm okay. Not to be conceited, not to be arrogant, but just to be real about your value. So if you understand that the creator is one who does not waste anything, everything has a purpose. If you're walking down the street and you see a little crumb of dirt on the ground, you see a little tree stump, or everything has a purpose. Leaves and clouds and even weeds, everything has a purpose. Bees and wasps and everything got a purpose. But yet, you and me are the greatest creation that God ever put together. But we walk around here with low self-esteem, believing that we have no worth, believing that we have no value, and believing that we have no purpose. Because we don't understand who we are. We haven't figured out how to be ourselves. So if sperm is ejaculated and billions of sperm are racing towards that egg, and then you the one that make it, you was fighting a fight long before you knew, long before you had developed limbs, long before you had developed brain. You were already competing just to exist. And I can guarantee you, it's like hitting the lottery. So you look at an individual, they say right now, hey man, look, I'm gonna give you, we got a barrel with 1 million balls in it. And we're gonna put a blindfold on you and give you like a scooper and let you scoop down into these balls. If you scoop out the pink one, it's only one pink one out of millions of balls. You scoop out the pink one, you win $10 million. The chances of you scooping out that pink ball are very, 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 very slim. Probably not gonna do it. Yet, in the womb, before you were even developed fully, you had the intelligence to race towards that egg, and you was the one who got there before all of the other ones who were trying to get there as well. That should raise your self-esteem, if nothing else. And it should make you understand, well, okay, well, I have a purpose. Got to find what my purpose is and figure it out. Some of us figure it out early, we know. But too many of us waste years of our lives trying to be exactly like somebody else. And when I say be like somebody else, I want y'all to understand this, because it's a confusion that takes place. If you're talking about looking at somebody who's successful and following the patterns that they follow, following steps that they follow, the certain moves that they made to get successful, and you're duplicating that, that's cool. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about studying success of others and the greatness of others and working towards duplicate. I ain't talking about that. I'm talking about trying to actually portray yourself as another individual, because 10 people can follow the same success patterns and steps and all be successful at it, but we still have our own personalities. We still got our own identities and our own beliefs and likes and dislikes. That's what I mean. So if I look at an individual that's in the music business, somebody that's in the music business, you can take the rap game, for example. There have been thousands of successful rap artists, thousands of them. I'm assuming hundreds to thousands over the course of hip hop, right? But there's always one who comes along and is so great that they have such an influence on the culture that some people that come along and get in the game, they can't contain themselves, and they try to look, act, sound, and rap just like that person. You can't do that, because you're now trying to not follow a pattern of success, not following the pattern of his marketing, his promotion, his business move, not that. You're trying to become that person in their art. And you can't do it because it's already been done. And they are being exactly who they are. You are imitating and being something that you're not, because you haven't found who you are. And I've said this a few times over the years when we get on this subject. We can remember how many people was trying to rap and sound like Tupac back when Pac was when he was alive. But especially after he was gone, you saw so many people that had mastered Tupac's voice. A few people I had to kind of like lean in, like, is that Tupac? Like, they had it down so good that it was scary. And while people would say, oh, man, that boy sound, there's some people that'll give him credit, say, that boy sound just like Pop. Ooh, man, I look at it from a different angle. I can give you credit as being an impressionist, like a comedian doing impersonations of different voices and all. Okay, yeah. But you don't create your whole act around trying to sound like another artist. Because no matter how close you sound to them, you can never do them better than they have done themselves, because that's who they really are. You are still being artificial. You're still being artificial. You're not being who you are. And it don't last long. The fake don't last long. It just don't. And it's a dangerous thing to emulate the art in the persona and try to take on the persona of somebody because they're popping at the time and because you like them. Because what if that person's light fades out and they no longer the hottest thing out, and you built your whole career trying to be just like them? So you gone too. Because if they don't want to hear him no more, and he's the real deal, they definitely not gonna want to hear you no more. So it's like him and all of the ones who sound like him, everybody gotta go. So it's always good to be inspired by others, but it's never good to try to steal their persona. See? We're talking about the value of being yourself. Because when you lock into that, and it's a natural process to work through to find that in any form of life, any aspect of life. But when you find it, that's why people say, that's why you hear the term and people will say, man, I'm comfortable in my own skin. That's when you hear that, because that's a person who has locked in to who they are. And now they at a point in their life where it's like, man, I don't care who like me, dislike me. I don't care who agree with me, disagree with me. I have found who I am and I'm content and at peace with that. I ain't scrambling around here confused, and I'm comfortable in my own skin. That's a great place to reach. That's a goal that everybody should strive for if you haven't reached that goal yet. See? And I use rap as an example simply because, you know, of course, that's what I do. So I use a lot of analogies in hip hop because it all connects to different parts of life. And plus, I've seen that, and I've seen a lot of artists that have fell off, man. They never got on because they just couldn't click in to who they was. You got to discover who you are. Discovering who you are also keeps you from being a foolish follower. Notice I said a foolish follower, because y'all know, if y'all know me, if y'all watch me and listen to me a lot, I'm never a person who condemns the term follower. The word follower has been made, oh man, you know, don't be a follower, don't be a follower. I ain't no follower. No, I don't condemn the term follower, because it's not about being a follower. It's about the type of follower that you are and the type of people that you follow. There's no shame in following a wise leader. There's no shame in following a productive leader, a leader who makes you better. I will proudly say, hey man, I will follow that person to the end. But to be a foolish follower is another example of a person who doesn't know their identity, because now you are trailing behind and following somebody who's not leading you in the right direction. They're not leading you down the right path. They're leading you into destruction. They're leading you into foolishness and ignorance and wrong moves and things of that nature. So you're a foolish follower, and you are excited and enamored by this foolish leader that you follow. So, oh man, we gonna go out and rob, man. We gonna go out and jack people. And oh yeah, man, okay, that's cool. Because a foolish leader can still have charisma. A foolish leader can still have a smooth mouthpiece. They can talk a good game. A foolish leader can still have leadership qualities, that galvanizing qualities, motivating qualities. That's why you see a lot of these cult leaders that you watch it on TV and you say, man, I ain't no way. I don't see how them people follow behind that man. I would never. Yeah, you wouldn't. But there are people who may be weaker that got caught up in his charisma and caught up in his conversation, and he worded it in such a way, and he caught the type of people that he knows he can prey on: the vulnerable, the naive, the weak-minded, the ones who don't have an identity, and he pull them in. But that's foolish leadership. That's dangerous leadership. So when you have that kind of mindset, you go all in, and you don't think about, well, what do I want? Or you allow somebody else to pull you in. Oh man, come on, man. I'm telling you, man, this boy, he the real deal, man. All right, man. Okay, man. You know, you like a piece of paper just blowing in the wind. You don't have any type of control over your direction. You're gonna go wherever the wind takes you and blows you. You have no control over your direction. You don't have no base or foundation that roots you, and you decide where you're gonna go and where you're not gonna go. That's a dangerous situation to be in. You got to have self-esteem. You got to have a sense about yourself that, like, hey, man, even if I'm broke, if I don't have it together, I don't know, I might not know exactly what I'm gonna do right now, where I'm going right now, but I know in my heart that I'm going somewhere. I'm gonna do something. I'm gonna do something big. I just don't know what it is. I'm focused to figure it out, what I'm gonna do. But what I'm not gonna do is let somebody come along and drag me into the pits because I've given up, or I don't really know what it is I want to do, or I've let people get into my ear and make me feel like I'm nothing. Because that's another problem that a lot of us have. But people have gotten into our ear over the years since childhood to tell us that we're not going to be nothing, to tell us that we're not nothing, and we're not going to be nothing. People have been through that. Many of y'all have probably been through the same thing. So now you have no belief. You don't believe that you're anybody. So people get on dope. Young people start committing suicide and things like that. See, to see a young person, to see somebody at 13, 14 years old, see somebody at 18, 20, 21 years old take their own life. That's a tough thing to look at. That's a tough thing to look at, man. You got to believe, man. And people have a problem with the word belief. But I'm not going to allow people to ever dismiss the power of belief just because people get so technical and caught up and say, well, man, it ain't about what you believe, brother. It's about what you know. Yeah, it's about what you know. But belief precedes what you know in a lot of instances in life. There are a lot of things that you have to believe first before they are an actuality. And because the belief is what turns the ignition, the belief is what initiates the person into actually going towards making it a reality. You have to see it in your mind before you actually have it. So we're not going to dismiss belief. Because if it wasn't for belief, nothing that we see would be in existence. Somebody had to visualize it and say, man, I believe that we can do that. See? I don't know how many people are going to come on my live when I go on live. I have no idea. It could be 50 or 100 of y'all, or it could be 2 or 3 or 5. But before I get on, I already have a belief that somebody's going to come around. Somebody's going to be on here listening to me run my mouth. But once I get on, I say, okay, well, we got about 60 people on here. Now I know. So knowledge is always, the knowing is always followed. The belief always precedes the knowing in a lot of cases. See? But we got to understand, man, that nobody can do you better than you can do yourself. Nobody. And you can't do somebody else better than them. So stop wasting your time trying to be somebody else. It's physically impossible, as we stated. Your whole anatomical makeup just works against that whole concept. You can't be somebody else. But mentally is a different thing. We think we can, but you can't even do it mentally. Let me see what y'all talking about, man. I told you I ain't gonna hold y'all long today. It's a beautiful Saturday, and I know a lot of y'all are different parts of the world, so I hope the weather is nice wherever you are. But I'm gonna dip back a little bit and go into some of y'all's comments and see what you're talking about. Steve says being yourself comes natural, but a lot of people put on masks. Yeah, you know, a lot of people do put on a mask because, like I said, they want to impress other people. So I can't be me because me might not be acceptable to them. And that could be in the job world. That could be just in social situations. We just feel like, and like I say, in music, I got to act like I'm a gangster because that's what people want to hear. I got to act like I got money. I got to act like I'm balling. So I'm going to be in my video throwing up money and got the little money gun shooting the money up. But in reality, I don't have no money. See? So you putting on this front. But the realest of the real, man, and those who actually end up getting accepted in the end are those who just be themselves. I'd rather watch a video of a guy just rapping about his struggle and how he's working through his whatever problems he's got. I'd rather watch the video of that guy just keeping it real like that than see some dude flexing and acting like he got all this stuff that we know that he don't have. See? It's more respectful. You have more respect for somebody who just tell you straight out. What's up, Keandra? Calculus says who you really are and what you really are really destined to do in life must show up when the storms come. Quitters never win, winners never quit. Yeah, I mean, that's a character issue. See? And that's part of who we are as well. You know, character is as the one of the definitions is say character is who you are when nobody else is around. You know, so yeah, when things get tough, you know, they say when the going gets tough, the tough get going. When things get really rough, people who are built for it, they rise up to the occasion. They step up to the plate and they work through it. As opposed to people who, when things get tough, they shy away. They you know, it's called fight or flight. Fight or flight. You're gonna stand in when it get rough and you're gonna square up and fight, or you're gonna get the hell out of there. What's on the shirt? Oh, this is my homies, man. Off the Chain Productions, my homies out of Corpus, Sin Lope, and Bub G, and all my brothers out there in Corpus Christi, man. Let me see, man. Chris One Life, the 9-to-5 job, the system, living someone else's dream, working just to survive. And see, that's a really good point, because a lot of times our quest to just survive, just to pay bills, it consumes so much of our time that we spend our whole lives working for other people and working for these companies and corporations, and God forbid it's manual labor and things of that nature that breaks our bodies down, but also breaks our minds down. And we never get a chance to fully exercise and utilize our maximum abilities because we're giving all that to somebody else. And once we lock into that level of a comfort zone in that area, then we become fearful of taking the risk to get out of that type of lifestyle. You know, you 40 years old now, and you've been working on this job 15 years. You know, you got a family, you got a house, but you're still not fulfilled and satisfied, and but you're scared because it's like, man, I got a family, I can't take a chance on going for my dream that I know that I'm born to do, because if this don't work, that's a tough situation to be in. But if you're in that situation, what you should do is, okay, if you're scared, make sure you don't instill that fear in your children. Don't pass on the cycle of, well, son, well, daughter, you got to get out there and do what I did. And then, yeah, but are you happy doing that? Was you happy doing that? Watch your children and see how they move, and they're like, okay, you know, my son is different. He different. Let him be different. Don't let him be destructive. Still guide him, but let him be different. He got something. This generation got something that we ain't got in them. In them, it's a fearlessness in them that ain't in us. See, libertarian mind that says the value of being yourself is 100%. Every original man and woman. Walaikum salam, Osama Rayan. Chi-Town up in this thing. Zawaji Muhammad, being loyal. Is being a loyal person a gift? You know what? That's a really good question. What do y'all think? Is loyalty, is it a gift, or is it, I would say what it is, Zawaji, I would say that it's a quality. See, people have different qualities instilled in them. I think that loyalty is a quality. Now, it can be considered a gift to the person who you being loyal to, because many people are not deserving or worthy of loyalty, consistent loyalty, people that burn you over and over again, and we remain loyal to them, or they remain loyal to us. We are giving them a gift of loyalty, and they're giving us one if we on the other end of that. But it's more of a quality than I would say than it's a gift, because I think that loyalty is dependent. I don't think it's something that is just like you're blessed with the gift of loyalty. I think our loyalty is based around who we value and what we value. So if you are in a relationship with a person and it's like you just head over heels over this person to where you're so blinded by everything that you don't see nothing of the wrong, and you just continue to go back over and over and over again, you placed a value on that person that has made you controllably loyal to them, and they may not even deserve it. Many settle, many drift. See? The value of being yourself, man. That's great value in being yourself. But you got to find yourself. And then when you find yourself, you got to study yourself, and you got to not be afraid to show yourself. Hey, man, this is who I am. This is what I do. I'm reading y'all's statements right now because just like I try to get y'all game, I try to get game from y'all too, man. See? Aisha, the new album will be out in August. Taekwon Gong says, when do you find who you are? It's different for different people. Bruh, you can be a triplet. It could be you and two other brothers that came out the womb with you. Y'all could be triplets, same age, 21 years old. You may find out who you are first. You may discover your purpose first. Your brother it may take him 3 years after that. Your third brother may never get it. So it's not one set definitive when date. It's when you lock in, when it locks in for you. Keandra, they had me confused to where I was turning on innocent people who didn't do nothing to me. Yeah, you see, that's what I'm saying. See, when we have low self-esteem or when we are naive, we have levels of naivety and we're easily influenced. That's not something that a person should be ridiculed about. Everybody goes through phases of that. That's why the word peer pressure came about, because people are easily influenced. Somebody tell, oh, you scared, I ain't scared, and you go in there and do something stupid. So at the end of the day, people will get in your ear and have you, I'll watch, man, I don't know, you better watch her, man, you know, I don't think she really, and they'll have you turning against the very people that are for you. And unfortunately, you don't see who's really with you until you get in a situation. That's when you see who's really with you. It's like all my young soldiers out there, they running the streets, they doing all this dirt, they doing what they doing out there. They calling their partners, man, this is my gang, this is my family. We gang for life, we this, we that. And as soon as you get jammed up and caught, ain't nobody there but your mama. See, you found out who you are when you get in a situation, but you also find out who everybody else is. All right. Blessings, Mikey Orr. Appreciate that love. And I use Tupac as an example, y'all. You know, I'm using different artists as them. I'm not using artists to say who's good, who's not. I'm definitely not saying that Tupac was, you know, like an evil person. I'm not saying. I'm saying that from an art form standpoint, people duplicate. I'm not judging his music, y'all. I'm saying he had a powerful influence over the world. And people, other artists, didn't just look at that and say, well, man, yeah, I'm gonna be inspired by his work and try to get where he is as me. They were inspired by his work and tried to become him. That's what I'm saying. That's what you shouldn't do. If y'all hadn't hit the like button, please do so right now, man. Let's see if you can get your big brother to 100 likes. A foolish leader can promise things his followers won't. Yeah, because a foolish leader can also be intelligent at the same time. See, how can you be foolish and intelligent? You're foolish because what your purpose is, what you're trying to do is foolish because you're trying to deceive people, but it takes intelligence to deceive. And as Mr. Farrakhan said, many of us utilize deceptive intelligence on a daily basis. You got to be intelligent to trick people. Find out who you are, man. Once the elite find out that their influencers they paid to influence criminal behavior among the black community ain't working no more, then they're going to start locking up the influencers. I don't put nothing past the so-called elite. I'm still reading what y'all talking about, man. So you may hear me speak on your comment. May hear your big brother speak on your comment. We almost at 100 likes, man. Y'all click the like button if you haven't done it already. We talking about the value of being yourself. Some people don't have self-love. Some people hate themselves. And so how do you know people hate themselves? You can tell that when people have a hate for themselves or a lack of love for themselves simply by the way they treat themselves. So if I'm doing all these drugs, man, I'm not thinking about my body, not thinking about my family. If I'm looking in the mirror because somebody has made me feel a certain way all my life and I decide, man, well, I got a little money, let me go and call this doctor up and see if he can make my nose look like this. See if he can thin my nose out. And I don't like the way my lips look, man. I need to do something with my lips. I don't like this little stomach, this little pooch I got. I'm gonna go get a tummy tuck. Instead of saying, no, I'm gonna start working out and changing my eating habits and get this up off me. I'm gonna go let somebody cut me. Oh man, baby girl, hey, my booty too flat. I think I'm gonna go get me one of them butt implants or something. I'm gonna let them inject a foreign substance into my backside that I have no idea what's in it, no idea of the dangerous ramifications that could possibly be connected to it, all because I don't like what I see. Because somebody has made you to feel that what you see and how you look is inferior or less. See? That's part of the lack of identity, the lack of knowing the value of yourself. So if you want that for yourself and you feel like I gotta change, wow, look, I gotta do this, I gotta do that, then if I ask you, well, do you believe that you was created by God? And you say, well, yeah, man, oh man, I believe in the Creator, man. No, man, I'm strong on the Creator. So why would you believe that He made a mistake when He created you? Why would you feel as though He messed up? You were crafted and all of a sudden, oh, God, man, I made that nose too big. It ain't like you cooking something. You know, you cooking something and oh, man, I put too much salt. Man, I made this too spicy. Oh, I didn't make it spicy enough. Let me add a little. Nah, this ain't like that. We make those kind of mistakes. He don't. So if you look at yourself and, I don't like the way, man. Nah, you came out exactly the way you were supposed to come out. And it's disrespectful and ungrateful, especially if you are not an individual who was born with a birth defect. See, some people had no choice in the fact that, well, this was the deformity that they had at birth. One arm shorter than the other one. Man, the baby was born without a foot. Something's going on. The baby was born blind. You know, things that you come out and all of your faculties are in order. You can see, you can hear. both arms, both legs, all your organs, everything is A1. And you still reach a point in your life where you decide that this ain't good enough. Or I'm not receiving the kind of attention that I feel like I want to receive because that person over there, she getting all the attention. So I'm going to make myself look like her. Same thing like with the rappers. Oh, he's popping right now. I'm going to go sound like him. Look like you look. There's somebody that is going to look at you and your physical appearance is going to be flawless in their eyes. Now, the mental side, you got to make sure you got that together. But that ties into it too, because there's so many. How many times have we seen a beautiful woman go get plastic surgery, right? And just destroy her whole face, whole body. Then you see somebody's going to always do it. Somebody's going to always create the split screen, and they're going to show how she used to look and how she turned herself into. How brother Michael Jackson used to look and what he turned himself into. Things of that nature. And what's the first thing that we say? First thing that we say, well, oh man, she was straight like this. She was perfect like that. What did she not see? Or what did she see that the rest of the world didn't? Like when we say, oh man, she's perfect. But it's something going on up here. There's a trauma. There's a delusion that's going on up here that makes them see the physical as being ugly. Different, man. Hold on, man. We got to do an OG salute. We had 3 OG salutes last night, man. We got to do another one, man, because look, this might be his first time in the chat. I see my brother, Mr. Cap, up in this thing, man. Hold up, man. South Park Coalition. Mr. Cap is in the building, man. So look, we're going to do the OG salute. I want y'all to right now start hitting that the like button, not the like button, the power fist, the salutes, the peace signs, the 100s, the strong arms, all that. Give all that right now, man, for my brother, Mr. Cap, South Park Coalition, man. For 20 plus years, man. Y'all make sure y'all show my brother some love. Drop all that love right now, man, for my brother, man. I want to shout out to King Kong Balls for the donation, man. I appreciate the love and the contribution. Appreciate that a lot, my friend. It's much appreciated and well received. Man, y'all show my brother, Mr. Cap, some love. Drop that love on my brother, man. South Park Coalition consists of brothers and sisters who've been down for decades. So y'all see that name, Mr. Cap, in the building. Memphis Marcus, appreciate the love, man. Appreciate your donation as well. Appreciate your donation as well, Memphis Marcus. Memphis in the building. There you go. Y'all drop my brother some love, man. South Park Coalition 35th anniversary is this year. We're doing it September the 10th at the Scout Bar. If you're in Houston, you need to be at this event. If you love the SPC, you need to be at this event. Drop y'all locations real quick, because I told y'all we're going to hold y'all long today. Drop your location so I can shout out y'all cities, man. Drop y'all locations. Ooh, Keandra dropped some knowledge. Gifts or talents that God bless you with. Loyalty is the value of how you are taught. Man. Let me see what we got, man. You got to love yourself. You got to learn to love yourself. See, you can't gain appreciation for something that you have no understanding about. See, you ever saw a documentary You watch scrolling and might be on YouTube or watching TV, and you see a documentary about somebody that you never heard of. You just, man, let me see what this talking about. Or you may have heard that person's name before, but you don't know nothing about them, and you watch a story about their life. Then you start to get interested because you start to see the things that they went through and the struggles they went through and the things that they accomplished and the hurdles that they overcame. And you gain a familiarity with them, and then you gain an appreciation because it's like, man, I didn't know. So now you familiarize yourself with that person's story and you look at them different. You have to do the same thing with yourself. You got to familiarize yourself with yourself. See? And you'll gain an appreciation. And that appreciation comes from what I talked about earlier. Understanding the struggle that it took you to make it to the egg. Understanding the original unique DNA that you have that nobody else had, the features and qualities that you have that no one else had. Even if you were an identical twin, you and your twin are totally different. See? You know, he kind of looked like him, but it's not the same. So that uniqueness should build self-esteem. It should build love. Like, man, I'm different. Nobody else is like me. It wasn't arrogance when Muhammad Ali was saying, I'm the greatest. I'm pretty. I'm this. It wasn't arrogance. He was born with an understanding of who he was. You should adopt that. You know, walk in the room with uprightness. Walk in the room with authority. Speak with authority. Speak with strength and power. Exercise your power. Practice on it. Things gonna always work out right? Nope. But take setbacks as a challenge. You challenging my quest for success. I need to meet that challenge and overcome it. Let's see where y'all at, man. See where y'all at, man. South Granville, Australia. H-Town, South Park in the building. Tian says, I'm down by the river. Are you in a little tent? You say you down by the river, but are you in a little tent? Killer Hills, 304. Riverside, California. Jamaica, Queens, New York. See? Miami to Phoenix. What's up, Miami, Florida, my brother? When you coming back to the H? Amarillo, Texas. Lake Charles up in this thing. Anderson, Alabama. Las Vegas. Austin, Texas. Cincinnati. Fort Worth. Pakistan. We all over the world, man. Lockhart, Texas. Nashville. Better known as Cashville. See? Cybersecurity. Appreciate the love, man. Appreciate the donation, Cybersecurity. Finland up in this thing. One of my favorite places. Shout out to Helsinki, Finland. Killeen, Texas. Warren, Ohio. What up, Marvin? We all over the place, man. Cincinnati again. We all over the place, bro. Y'all take what I gave y'all, man, and y'all utilize it. Never let nobody destroy your self-image, your self-esteem. Understand that you're different from anybody that ever walked the planet. There's nobody like you. Nobody will ever be like you. Find out who you are and what you're here to do and move on that. Treat people like you want to be treated and make the world a better place. I'll see you, South Africa. I'll catch y'all later, man. Peace.